This new addition to the Rockport line will be a major player in the economic growth of Southeast Bexar County. General Wesley Clark is at the Boys and Girls Club in San Antonio to promote his new business venture for vets, the grilled cheese truck. This morning, firefighters had a busy night last night, fighting 3 separate fires, 2 of which were multiple alarm fires. Don's Fish Camp is known as the hot spot to float the river and have a good time. But after the destruction of flash flooding, it's quiet, desolate, and hardly recognizable. Now you'll find damaged buses, deflated tubes, and trees snapped in half. 15 out of 29 buses used to transport people in their tubes were damaged after floods raised the river to dangerous levels. Buses were underwater for over a week before crews could get them all out. A company official says about $50,000 to $70,000 worth of damage occurred. This pile of rubble is where the party deck used to be before it was washed away by the Halloween floods. Some repairs have already been made. Local residents came out to see the destruction that descended upon the popular tube rental spot.
Just to see things displaced and to see things you recognize and they're in different places. And so watch what you ask for. You pray for rain. We got rain.
Crews probably won't be finished until sometime early next year, but the damage shouldn't have any impact on business next summer. Company officials say you can expect Don's to look nearly the same next year except for the deck that was close to the river. For Bobcat Update, I'm Valerie Kilgore. For many students, college is a time for new and exciting experiences in addition to getting an education. The ultimate goal for most is to start a career after graduation. There are other things students need to keep in mind before they start looking for a job. Texas State graduate Justin Garlick says social media plays an important role in the hiring process.
They want your Facebook, they want your Twitter, they want your Instagram, they'll look at everything, and they've gone through different candidates, and I've watched them do it where they looked at the picture, saw it, and said no, we don't want them purely. They had every qualification, had better qualifications than I did, and said no purely because of a picture on Facebook.
Students need to be prepared for the interview and dress appropriately, which for some may mean covering their body art. Tattoos are not in all cases a detriment, however.
Those of you who want to express yourself individually, just make sure that you are interviewing with people who also express themselves individually.
Getting tatted up and posting party pictures on Facebook may seem cool now, but college students have to take into account how it's going to affect their marketability in the future. Most importantly, students need to network and gain experience through internships.
What internships do is it not only gives the students an opportunity to exercise their skills, but it gives them the kind of experience that's going to make them competitive in the marketplace.
Even if you have a 4.0 in college, you're not very marketable without job experience in today's workforce. Just remember to dress properly for the job that you want. For Bobcat Update, I'm Valerie Kilgore. Good afternoon, San Marcos. It sure does feel like fall out there right now with temperatures at 79 degrees and it is sunny. As far as the rest of the state is concerned, I could pretty much say the same thing. We are in the upper 70s from Dallas all the way down into Brownsville, 79 degrees from Houston to Austin. Then as we step over, you can see Amarillo right now at 78 and it's 86 right now in El Paso. As far as the rest of the nation is concerned, we've got some pretty mild temperatures. 61 right now in Seattle, 64 in San Francisco, and 67 right now in Los Angeles. A little bit cooler right now. It's 59 degrees in Denver. Chicago's got a bit of a cool front. They're about 10 degrees cooler than normal. It's sitting at 44 degrees. It's 54 right now in New York, 57 in Washington, D.C. As far as weather patterns are concerned, it's pretty mild. We've got lots of sunshine, dry weather in through the west coast, partly cloudy skies in from Seattle all the way over into Montana. Central Plains, lots of sunshine over here. Now this cool front has brought in a few scattered showers in through the Great Lakes area, and that's moving over into New York, Boston, and Pennsylvania as well. Partly cloudy down here in Washington, D.C., and Miami is expecting about a 50% chance of rain. New this morning, firefighters had a busy night last night, fighting 3 separate fires, 2 of which were multiple alarm fires. The first fire broke out around 12:30 this morning at a pallet warehouse close to downtown. Crews were able to put out 2 small fires around the warehouse located at Hofgen and Cherry Street. Right after that, another fire broke out and more help was called. Firefighters say they encountered some problems battling the fire.
We did have a few challenges with the water, but we were able to get around the fire, surround it, and drown it basically very efficiently. We've had a fire here probably 4 or 5 years ago. If you remember, that probably turned into a 3rd alarm fire. It was a campaign fire. It took us several hours to put that fire out, but through the work of fire prevention and the property owner, we're able to put this fire out very fast.
As of right now, the cause of fire is unknown and arson is investigating. The second fire broke out at an appliance store located at Risby and W.W. White Road. The fire so big, multiple crews were called out. The first fire crews arrived to find a dumpster fire towards the back of the building and started to put that fire out. When more units arrived, they realized the fire had spread into the interior and into the Rent-A-Center. A second alarm was called out a few minutes later due to the heat and size of the building. Most of the damage was contained to the Rent-A-Center. Storage rooms suffered most of the smoke and heat damage.
In this heat, anything's possible. Sometimes there is a thing called spontaneous combustion. We're having arson come out because of the heat and because it was a Rent-A-Center.
Fire officials are still trying to figure out what caused the fire. Fire officials are also investigating the third fire of the night, a 2-alarm fire on the city's east side at a sofa upholstery warehouse. It happened last night around 7 in the 3300 block of East Commerce Street. No workers were in the warehouse at the time, but firefighters say the materials stored inside made it difficult to put out the fire. It took 70 firefighters to get it under control.
With the foam insulation, as you can imagine, with any type of upholstery shop, you've got that heavy, thick foam. Well, that stuff is petroleum-based. It burns and puts off heavy black smoke. So again, it was so bad that the guys that were going inside the building couldn't even see their hand in front of their face.
No injuries were reported. According to the assistant fire chief, the warehouse appeared to be used as a storage facility. No electricity was running in the building at the time of the fire. Tens of thousands of protesters marched through the streets of Cairo last night. Supporters of ousted Mohamed Morsi are ignoring demands of the interim government to disperse. An official says security forces lobbed tear gas canisters at pro-Morsi supporters who tried to storm a complex housing most of Egypt's private TV stations. Back here at home, an exhibit honoring the Texans who lost their lives during the Vietnam War opens up today at the Institute of Texan Cultures. The Texas Vietnam Heroes exhibit arrived a few days ago from the LBJ Library in Austin. A set of 3,417 dog tags representing all the people who sacrificed their lives will be on display. Each is hand-stamped with a service member's name, rank, branch of service, and date of death. The exhibit officially opens this morning and admission will be free. After that, admission will be free each Sunday this month. The exhibit runs through August 25th. The time now is 9 o'clock and it's 87 degrees. Coming up, we'll tell you the winning lotto numbers from last night. And taking a live look at the city camp, Justin Horn will have your full forecast after the break.